and happy Saturday. I can't apologise enough for the fact that there's been 0 videos this week. Uni, as I said in previous videos, is a lot at the moment. We've finished our project, it's all up, it's all great, and we love it, it's amazing. So I'm very extremely proud of the project in general. We're gonna move away from that now because I kind of want to talk about the entire theatre experience and use story time as a way of explaining this. So as a part of my course, I learn about the whole sort of going to the theatre and that entire experience. Obviously we sort of play off of our own experiences, but we're taught about how we need to create an atmosphere that relates to the play, even or show or whatever people are going into view before they've seen it. I'm going to use a story from last weekend. So last weekend I went and saw Shen Yun Performing Arts, which is all about Chinese traditional dance. It was an incredible show, and if you guys ever get a chance to see it, I recommend. Quite a bit happened. A few unexpected twists and turns throughout the entire day, I suppose. But as we're taught in uni, people need to be excited about coming to a show or something like that. So even like the tiniest details that include like marketing and things like that are so important. So when we arrived, we walked in the front doors and we'd scanned our tickets and everything, and they were giving out free programs. So programs are basically like a catalogue of the show, I guess is the best way to describe them. They have nice pictures. Some of the big musicals have like gorgeous quotes and lovely photography and things in them, and it always has a little bit of information about the entire show. So they can cost anything from about £3 to £20 depending on what you're seeing. You can also usually get 2 types. You usually get like a souvenir program, which is all the lovely pictures and everything, and you can get like the cast catalogue, which will give you the entirety of the cast with their like biographies of like previous work and things like that. But they were giving them out for free. We weren't expecting that at all. We just sort of walked in, they were like, do you want a program? It's free. I was like, yes, thank you very much. So we had a program, and then we were looking at all the gorgeous like merchandise that they were selling. It was quite expensive, so we didn't buy anything, but it was just really beautiful and obviously connected to the show and everything. And they just had like Shen Yun posters everywhere, and it was just really lovely. It was at the Hammersmith Apollo, and I've not been there in a couple of years, so it's kind of nice to go back there and see everything again. I also like right at the front of the theatre they always have what's on, but it's always on like a white strip in big red letters, and it's, I don't know, it's just quite nostalgic and iconic to me. So yeah, going in, we were like, right, okay, free program, this is lovely. My mum went and got a bottle of water, then we had to go and find our seats. Again, walking into the theatre, into the actual theatre space, as designers we need to think about not just what's on stage, but what's sort of surrounding the audience as well. So there is a famous theatre designer called Rob Howell who actually opened our exhibition, which was really cool. He was the set designer for Matilda. If anyone has seen Matilda, I haven't. I've seen plenty of photos and things like that of it. The whole sort of theatre space is covered in letters, which I think is a really cool idea, and obviously relates to the story and everything. Because this was a touring production, they didn't really have a lot of that going on. I have been to plenty of other like in-house remaining there forever productions that literally turn the theatre into this whole sort of space where you actually feel like you're a part of the story. So Shen Yun didn't have that because it is a touring production, and I can understand that building a whole load of set for a week to take it all back down, let alone stuff that's all around in the theatre as well that you need to remember that you've got. I can obviously understand why that wasn't a thing. But when we went up to our seats, one of our seats had like danger caution tape over it. So we were like, okay, what's going on here? So my mum went down to the steward with our tickets and like explaining that, you know, there's the 3 of us, this chair is apparently not able to be used, what can you do about it? And the steward was like, I just need to go and speak to my supervisor. So she went, she came back, and she said to my mum, oh, we've sat you all together, but we've had to move your seats. You're now down in the stalls. We purposefully don't buy tickets in the stalls because I think they are really expensive. I do think they are. Fair enough if you're going for like a one-time thing and it's a show that you've always wanted to see. Like if I was going to go and see Six, which I think we are finally in the summer, I would debate buying seats that were in the stalls, maybe. But yeah, for certain things, I can't warrant spending the money on a ticket to sit there for 2 hours. All the tickets in the stalls were at least £150 upwards, and that's a lot. That's a lot of money, especially considering if my mum had booked those tickets, there were 3 of us, so that was going to be a lot of money. But then when my mum found out that we had to move down to the stalls, she said to me oh, I bet we're going to be sat sort of right at the back and we can't really see anything. Went down to the stalls and they gave us the new ticket, and we went down to the stalls. We walked in and checking the ticket and checking the seat row numbers and just sort of kept walking closer and closer to the front. We were sat 5 rows from the front. It was incredible. It was so funny. It was so funny because my mum just sat down. She was like, I mean, going to the theatre is expensive, but I would never even dream of buying tickets that were down here. But these tickets would have costed, if we'd bought the 3 seats that we actually got, they would have costed like £200 each. So to be moved from right up in the gods in the Grand Circle to down in the stalls 5 rows from the front, just because our seat was broken, one of the seats was broken, it was crazy. When we talk about the theatre experience and things like that, when we're in class, even things like that, even actual logistical things like that can affect a person's mood coming in or out of a performance, because if they're sat in a better seat, or if they've been changed from a seat that's right up high to one that's really close to the front, their mood about the whole entire thing could be completely different. Do you guys get what I mean? I hope you get what I mean. I'm not explaining this really badly. So we saw the show and it was incredible. It was all Chinese dance, and there was 2 singers and a lady playing a traditional Chinese instrument. I think it had 2 strings or 3 strings, and she played it with a bow. But it was incredible. The dancers, I don't know how they dance like that. If anyone has seen the adverts for it, when they're like, what does it take to be a Shen Yun dancer? The guy that narrates that was the guy that was hosting the entire thing. So this guy came on with a Chinese lady and kind of explaining what was going on, which was handy. The only thing that kind of bothered me a bit is the amount of people that, 1, came in late, and 2, continuously got up to go to the toilet. I would, 1, be there at least half an hour before the show started, at least, and 2, made sure I'd gone to the toilet. Always made sure. I couldn't even dream of getting up in the middle of a performance, particularly sat in the stalls, just to go out and use the toilet. I couldn't imagine it. And obviously the people that are sat in the stalls, majority of them have paid that amount of money to see it, so why you would then want to get up and miss it after paying that much money, I don't know. And then again, people that are coming in late, why would you spend that amount of money and not be there literally as soon as the doors open? But what also kind of annoyed me is that it specifically says on most theatre tickets that late admittance will not be allowed, or latecomers will not be allowed into the theatre. And I understand that they allow them in when there's a change of scene and things, but it still disrupts every single other person that can see those people. Because even if I was sat up high looking down from the Grand Circle, if I see someone sort of running around trying to find their seat, it would still distract me from what was going on stage. Theatre etiquette, I want to do a video on theatre etiquette, but I feel like it's quite a niche thing, so I probably won't. Unless you guys want me to, tell me down below in the comments down below. Yeah, I have a thing about theatre etiquette, and yeah, there's a lot of things that I would do to the theatre, and there's a lot of things that I would do when I go to a theatre to be respectful to both the actors and the rest of the audience, who have also paid the same amount of money to be there or more. Not a lot of things particularly get on my nerves to the fact where I have to say something or I get really, really annoyed over it, but that is one of those things. Like people that eat constantly throughout a performance. In the cinema I get it, because you go to have popcorn and stuff like that, I get that. And plus it's always kind of too loud and you can't really hear people eating behind you. But when you're in the theatre and it's just the orchestra playing, obviously the orchestra is highly trained, beautiful music, and it is loud, but you can still hear the person right behind you opening a packet of crisps. That really irritates me, This has turned into a theatre etiquette video. I'm gonna move away from this subject now. So the show, it was incredible and I absolutely loved it. All those things, all of those elements, the whole getting on the train, getting to where the theatre is, having lunch, going to see the show, getting on the train afterwards, going home. That whole thing is an entire theatre experience. Your theatre experience starts when you leave the house to go to a performance. And your entire mindset will be affected by how the journey is or how you get there and things like that. So I think, as obviously a theatre designer that's learning about this sort of thing, really interesting to me. And I can be like really excited before a performance and then love it maybe way more than I would do if I wasn't as excited beforehand, if that makes sense. But that's just kind of a general easy breezy summary of some of the stuff that we learn on my course in relation to an actual theatre experience. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. It's a little bit random and maybe not usually what I do, / a little bit different from what I usually do. That was basically the same thing. Sorry, I'm rambling a little bit because I feel like I've not filmed in a long time and I've forgotten how to talk apparently. I hope you've enjoyed it anyway, and I will see you on Monday. I should see you on Monday. I just need to make sure that I can film a cover, which I should be able to do tomorrow. There's a lot going on, guys. I need to pack to go to Barcelona tomorrow. The vlog on Wednesday, I have decided to do my Barcelona New Year's vlog as Wednesday's vlog, and then so the week after you'll have the rest of the Barcelona trips. It will sort of be in 2 parts but separate, because they were separate trips and they are going to be separate trips, so I just want to separate them. There we go. Give me a like and a subscribe if you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you on Monday. Bye guys!